Hi Daniel, you know me, no need for introductions. Today I'm going to be talking about William Wilson, The Black Cat and the Pit and the Pendulum by Edgar Allan Poe. So in relation to the first story, the question is, what would you do, say, think if you traveled into the story you are reading with? I think it really depends. That's a tough one. But it really depends on the intentions of the clone. Like, for example, you see in the story that the clone has bad intentions upon the teacher since the story started basically. He mocks him, he gets into discussions with him that turn out violent most of the times. He's rebellious, and that's like a group of factors that led the teacher to kill him at the end, after the heaviest discussion they've had. But it really depends on what the clone intends to do. Like, if it had good intentions, then I guess at first glance I would try my best to get along with the clone, because, you know, it's my clone. Like, we can agree on a lot of stuff, and we need a lot of stuff to talk about. But if it turns out evil, like in the story, and if he or she, well, she, has bad intentions with me, then I will probably kill him anyway. I wouldn't mind if it kills me as well. I would really follow the plot line as Edgar Allan Poe writes it. Like, there wouldn't be much difference about it. Okay, so for the second book, I don't really know if I have to act it out or if I have to speak it, so I'm going to act it out. This is going to be super cringy, so embrace yourselves, and I hope you don't lower me grade because of my bad acting, alright, Daniel? I trusted you. I trust you. Alright, here goes. I have come to the decision that I must kill Pluto. Why? I don't know. That is inhuman. The cat hasn't done anything wrong. Yes, it has. Like what? He's making me jealous. I have the right. No, you don't. Yeah, I have. I'm probably going to kill him with the axe. Are you even listening to yourself? Myself? Yes, I am. Then why do you have to kill him? That's inhuman. The cat is driving you crazy, but that's not enough reason for you to try to kill him. Meh. Your mom loves the cat. You're supposed to love animals as well. That's not you. Then who is it? You? I don't know, but this doesn't feel right. It should. I mean, it's definitely okay. The cat has done enough harm to my mental health. And the protagonist ended up killing his wife instead of killing the cat. Yay! That's a brief conversation. I know that was really short, but my family members are right beside in the room, and I'm really embarrassed to do it in a better way or repeat it or anything. In relation to the third story about the pit and the pendulum, then the question is talk about how it would change the story if a certain character had made a different decision earlier in the story. I think it's pertinent to talk about the main character here, because there's like two sets of characters to talk about. Or three. Let's say three. Two of these who are not really important or don't take much action into history, that are the guys of the Inquisition, and that's somebody from the revolutionary army that helps the protagonist escape the pits at the end. But talking about if these guys were to make different decisions would be really straightforward, and there will be like a limited set of options. But instead, if we talk about the main character, then things would be different, because the twists that happen in the book, are his responsibility and are due to his actions. So if we were to talk about this character, I think it would be interesting on what would have happened, or how Edgar would have described the events that go after, you know, when he is handed something to drink and this something is really poisoned, and he dozes off, and then he appears tied to the table with the pendulum swinging above him. This is what happens afterwards. He escapes the pit. Actually, it's the Inquisition's third try to kill the man, I guess. And he was tied to a table with a bread on one hand. Like, there was a table right beside him. I know you get my point. And there was liquid and there was bread. I wonder what would have happened if, out of hunger, he had eaten the bread or whatever food was on the table. Because, that's the only thing that he can use in order to spray himself with its scent and then attract the mice in order to cut off the ropes that are tying him to the table. I wondered what would have been Edgar's descriptions of the pendulum slowly swinging into the character's death, the slicing off his meat. That would have been really interesting. The character would have probably died, but Edgar rarely describes scenes where the main character dies. He usually describes scenes where characters close to the protagonists, or the protagonists that are spectators of the event, usually see the deaths, but they don't experience them themselves. It's not explicit. In William Wilson, that the main character dies, but Edgar never really describes it. Like, William Wilson and William Wilson get into the fight, and William Wilson kills William Wilson, and William Wilson says, "You have killed yourself," but that's the end of the story. He really never tells what happens afterwards. So it would have been kind of interesting if Edgar described how the pendulum slowly killed the main character and what would happen afterwards. Like if there was like this remains of conscience of the main character trying to guess what happens afterwards, what happens to the mice, what happens to the Inquisition. That would have been really interesting.